Hello students, we are back in our new session of political science. Today we are going to see one of the next coming lesson after the completion of first two lessons. In the above lessons or in the previous lessons we have already learned about the different concepts of constitution, how the constitution has played a part of working, and that is in first lesson. In second lesson we learned about the electoral process, that after the constitution was been framed, how the election has been held and how the election process is all about. And now today we are going to learn the third lesson, that is the political parties. After understanding the working of constitution, after understanding the electoral process, this is the most important part which is to be understood, that is political parties. So let's begin, students. In the last chapter, we studied the working of constitution and election procedure. Political parties are a link that connects common people, democracy, representation, and election. Whatever we read or hear about politics is related to political parties. Political parties exist in all democratic systems. In fact, political parties compete with each other only in a democracy. In this chapter, we will study the political party system in India. So, before going further, students, the first and the foremost thing which we have to understand, that is what is political parties. Political parties are nothing but the link that connects common people with the representation, election, democracy. Whatever the electoral process is, whatever the kinds of rules and regulations of our nation are being framed in the working of constitution are, those are being followed properly or not, or how we have to follow that, or what are the other things which can make the citizen of the country more powerful, more comfortable, and more free in the India. That is to be understood. And this understanding is being taken into consideration by the political party. Political party helps us out to make everything go smoothly. So let's go further. In our school and the surroundings, you must have seen some groups, institutions, organizations working to achieve some objective. Some organizations take initiative in resolving social problems. You may have read about the various movements and their work. Just as there are active groups, institutions, and movements, similarly, there are political parties who contest elections. Political parties are also a kind of social organizations, but there is a difference between political parties and other institutions and organizations in society. The difference in the goals and style of working of political parties and other organizations. On this background, we can say that when people from organizations with the objectives of achieving political power and participate in the electoral process, such organizations are called political parties. Political parties thus can be described as a group of people who aim to contest elections, win elections, and get power and establish the government of their party. So, students, the second concept which is to be understood, that how the political parties work, or what kind of an organizations are considered as the political parties. So, you must have gone through with the different kind of an institutions and organizations, though, which take a very initial steps, or we can say initiative steps for the solution of the problem of the society. Such institutions are working a lot socially to help the citizen to get the comfort level. But talking about political party, they are a bit different from these organization and institutions. Why? Because the political party, once if they get elected, they are having the power to make the changes of it. Obviously, the powers are having some kind of limits, but the power helps the citizen to have their actual satisfaction for their problems. So, in short, the meaning of political parties are a group of people who aim to contest elections, win elections, and get power and establish the government of their party. So, as I explained before, they just take a stand for the society purpose. They stand in the election. They get elected by the major vote, and then the power has been received by them. And finally, they establish their government. Following are some important characteristics of political parties. So let's go one by one. What are the characteristics of political parties are? First, to achieve power. As it has been described in the meaning of political parties, that yes, the first characteristic of the political party is to achieve the power. But the condition is applied is fair competition through elections. Whatever the elections are going on, those election process should be completely fair. Nothing kind of an corruption, or we can say wrong way of approval, it should be done in this process. Next, to pursue an ideology. Now, what is pursue? Pursue means to chase. Ideology means, in common language, you can say that thoughts or strategies or way of presentation, the way of achieving the goals. This is said to be an ideology. So, to pursue an ideology. So, the main importance of it is politics and stand about social issues. Whatever social issues are there, whatever the common citizen are having the problem related to anything, that is to be taken into the consideration by the political party and bring out the perfect logical and a point of view of rules and regulations to be followed to get the solution of it. So this is the second characteristics of political parties. Third, to have party agenda based on party ideology. As we discussed in the second point, that the ideology, that means a different kind of in thoughts, workouts, or whatever the aims they are deciding. So each and every party decide their aim, because each and every party they do connect personally at some time duration with the citizen to know their problems or issues. And after knowing that, they prepare their own agenda, that after coming in the rule, after getting the power, what kind of in things are to be resolved. So that is the third characteristic. Fourth characteristic, students, to establish government. So after getting the power, after getting elected, obviously their main motto is to establish a government. But party which gets the majority forms the government. So as we know pretty well that what kind of an election process is to be held, and in the previous chapter we have already seen that whichever party gets the highest amount of votes, they can govern the nation. So this is the fourth characteristics of political party. The last one, fifth one, to act as a link between the government and the people. Yes, the political parties are always a kind of a link between the government and the people. People can't go directly to the government for any kind of a resolution of problem, and government cannot directly throw out any kind of a laws or rules and regulation on the people without having consultation with political parties. So they are the middle bridge of connecting, linking both government and people. But the important point is political parties convey the demand and complaints of the people to the government. So this point is to be already been discussed. So whatever kind of and problems are there, or issues, complaints, those have been described to the political parties, whosoever person is being concerned. And then these political parties, they go and present this kind of a problematic condition in front of government, and then coordinately government and the political parties, they decide that what kind of a condition is to be taken into control, or what kind of a steps to be taken for the future. So this is what it was been related to the characteristics of political party. Think and write, which is very important to be understood. Mahatma Gandhi, Vinoba Bhave, and Jayaprakash Narayan put forth the idea of partyless democracy. This was been done at the very initial stage of the independent students, that there should be no any kind of in parties. Okay, idea of partyless democracy. So what has to be done to bring such democracy in modern times? If you want to get this kind of an partyless democracy, what kind of things are to be done? So that is to be thought and been written. It's a simple kind of thought, students, that if such a kind of democracy has been taken into the today's 21st century, then it will be pretty difficult for us to rule, or it will be pretty difficult for us to manage everything in the proper way. So that kind of strategy of partyless democracy cannot be put over in the present situation. Going further, student, changing nature of political party. Changing nature of political parties having three different points, students. I'll just brief you one by one. First, first point describes the Congress party. After the post-independence, students, Congress party was having the majority of the votes or majority of the support, and Congress party even proved itself to be the best one during that time duration. So this era was described as era of single dominant party system. That means nobody can go beyond their levels. Congress party was only the one to be stand in the battlefield. Second point, the non-Congress party came together and challenged a single dominant party system in 1977. But in 1977, due to some internal issues, the non Congress parties, that means the person who were not connected with the Congress party, they decided to challenge this single dominant party system. That means only the Congress party was ruling at that time duration. So the other parties, they decided to challenge the Congress party. And after 1989, single dominant party system came to an end. Lok Sabha elections was going on during that time duration, and the system of one party emerged as dominant party came to an end. Since then, different parties began to come together to form coalition government. Both the Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress Party made an experiment of establishing coalition government. The belief that coalition government brings instability was proved wrong by the political party system in our country. In fact, the coalition government system has established in India. After breaking this single dominant party system or taking this system to an end, the coalition government was being formed. That means the combination of two parties together. Prediction was being done that this kind of an coalition party will not rule the nation in the proper way, but actual the thought was proved to be wrong, and the coalition party or coalition government proved the best one to take care of the nation, to rule on the nation. Do you know, if power remains with one political party for a long period and if no other political party are influential, the party system is called as one party system. As we discussed before in the first point, the Congress party was only the one party and no any other party was there during that time duration to stand in front of them. So it is to be said as one party system. Second point, in politics, when two political parties are influential and if political parties enjoy power alternatively, the party system is called two party system. That means two parties are there. Suppose Congress and Bharatiya Janata Party. If both the parties are going to govern the nation and turn by turn they are going to rule on the nation, then such a kind of a party system is said to be a two party system. Okay, talking about third point, when many political parties compete for political power and more or less they are equally influential, the party system is called multi-party system. That means more than two parties are coming together for the political power, and more or less they are equally influential too, then this kind of an party system is said to be a multi-party system. Let's go further, students. Also understand part the national parties and the regional parties. The very important point to be kept in mind, that which parties are said to be national parties and which parties are said to be regional parties. So the first point, to get recognition, the election commission has prescribed the following condition. So if any party wants to be recognized as national party, they have to first of all satisfy these two specific points. Then and then they are to be considered as national parties. National parties means who are having the satisfaction of both the conditions. Let's see the first one. A political party should secure minimum 6% of the valid votes in 4 or more states in the earlier Lok Sabha. In the previous Lok Sabha, if they should secure minimum 6% of valid votes in more than 4 states, or assembly election and minimum 4 members should be elected in Lok Sabha from any state or state in the earlier elections. So minimum 4 members should be elected in Lok Sabha. Second one, the candidate of a party should be elected from minimum 2 constituencies out of the total Lok Sabha constituencies and from minimum 3 states. So these both the conditions should be satisfied if you want a recognition as a national party. Coming to the next part, to get recognition as a regional party, the election commission has prescribed the following conditions. So let's see what are the conditions. First one, a political party should secure minimum 6% of the valid votes in the earlier Lok Sabha or state assembly election, and minimum 2 members should be elected in the Vidhan Sabha, that is state assembly. If they are satisfying these points, then and then they are being considered as the regional party. Or a political party should secure minimum 3% of seat out of total seat of Vidhan Sabha, that is state assembly, or minimum 3 seats. So this is the kind of rules to be followed if we want recognition as a regional party. Let us know about some more important political parties in India. First is National Party. In that, the first one, Indian National Congress Party. As we have discussed before, Indian National Congress Party was established in 1885 and it was the first party to be formed after independence. At the time of its establishment, Congress was an all-comprehensive movement working for national independence. Groups with different ideologies had come together in this nationalist movement. That means during the initial stage, Congress party was very good and very well ruining the nation. But later on, after independence, the Congress emerged as the most dominant political party. The party from the beginning follows the policy of the secularism, all around development, equal rights and welfare of majorities and disadvantageous sections of the society. Congress party has also been supported for all the kind of sections of the nation wherever the development was needed. Accordingly, Congress has organized various programs to achieve those objectives. The party believes in democratic socialism, social equality, and international peace. So their main motto was these three things: democratic socialism, social equality, and international peace. And they tried to achieve these goals. Second, Communist Party of India. This party, based on the communist ideology, was established in 1925. It is an old party in India. This party works for the welfare of laborers and workers. So the specialization of this party is that they are fighting for the laborers and the workers. Sorry. The party opts capitalism. That means they oppose the capitalism, students. The party leadership developed difference in the 1960s over the issue of whether Communist Party of India should accept the leadership of Communist China or the Soviet Union. This led to the split in Communist Party of India and a separate party, Communist Party of India Marxist, was formed in 1964. So this party also didn't exist for a longer time duration, but this has been considered as the one of the oldest party, and they give the support to the laborers and the workers, but they got split up because to understand, or they were about to accept the leadership of Communist Party or the Soviet Union. Decision of that in between, they didn't able to continue with their kind of an Communist Party, and later on it was been split into the another one, that is Communist Party of India Marxist, which was being formed in 1964. Going further, that is third, Bharatiya Janata Party, students. Bharatiya Janata Party is an important party for the national level. Bharatiya Janasangh was established in 1951. This party was merged with Janata Party that was established in 1977. The Janata Party could not survive. There was a split in the party, and Bharatiya Janasangh, the component party of Janata Party, established a new party in 1980. Bharatiya Janata Party, the party stands for the protection of the Indian culture and tradition. The party gives importance to economic reforms. Talking about Bharatiya Janata Party, also students, at the initial stage it was also kind of in same thing which happened with other parties. They were all together, but later on it splitted. Again, they got a different identity, and finally the Bharatiya Janata Party, which has been came into existence. Their main motto is to protect the Indian culture and tradition and to give importance to economic reforms. Going to the fourth, that is Communist Party of India, that is Marxist, which I have just discussed in the second point. This party proclaims socialism, secularism, and democracy. The party opposes imperialism. So, the party's main motto is to support the socialism, secularism, and the democracy, and to oppose imperialism. Party's policy is to protect the interest of the workers, farmers, and landless laborers. So, as if at the initial stage when Communist Party was working out, their motto was also the same, to help the laborers and workers. Here also the Communist Party of India, Marxists, also kept on working and helping out for the protection and the interest of workers, farmers, and landless farm laborers. So, now coming to the fifth point, Bahujan Samaj Party. Bahujan Samaj Party processed the socialist ideology in 1984. The party was established with the objective of protecting the interest of the majority, that is scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, religious minorities, and other backward classes. Together constitute a majority. The party aims to give power in the hands of the majority. So students, here this Bahujan Samaj Party was was taking a stand for the support of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and religious minorities. So according to the Bahujan Samaj Party, these specific citizens should have the facilities, and they should give a power in the hands of the majority. Sixth point, Nationalist Congress Party. In 1999, there was a split in the Congress Party and Nationalist Congress Party was established. The party believes in the value of democracy, equality, and secularism, and the party was in power in Maharashtra from 1999 to 2014 in coalition with the uh, Congress Party. Nationalist Congress Party for a long period was also a part of coalition government led by Congress at center from 2004 and 2000 to 2014. So students, talking about Nationalist Congress Party, it was the part of Congress Party at the initial stage, but then they also split up and this kind of a Nationalist Congress Party came into existence. Before the splitting work, the party was working as a power in Maharashtra from 1999 to 2014 with Congress Party itself, and then they split up in Nationalist Congress Party, which was being led by Congress at center from 2004 to 2014. Seventh one, Trinamool Congress. All India Trinamool Congress Party was established in 1998. Election Commission gave the party recognition as national party in 2016. The party supports democracy, secularism and protection of interests of weaker section of the society. So, as if the mottos was there in Congress Party, the same kind of in concept was been taken over by this Trinamool Congress Party. Going further, number of seats secured by national parties in Lok Sabha election of 2019 and 2014 is given over here. Means what was the status of number of seats achieved by the parties in 2019 and what were the number of seats achieved by the different parties in 2014. Next, going further, you must be reading different news in newspapers. Through these news items, we get information about various parties existing in different states of India. Do these parties function only at the state level? Some state leaders are influential at national level, while some have influence only at state level. Why is it so? The question arises. With the help of such question, we will try to get information about various regional parties in India. We will study some of the regional parties from different parts of India. Students, now we will be talking about the splitting of, or we can say the development of regional parties. We always go through with different kind of a news in the newspaper related to the national parties, and we even have some kind of a different news related to the splitting of it, the division of it by state or region wise. So here the development of the regional parties begin. In India, we find some speaking different language people speaking different languages and having different traditions and culture. They belong to different parties of India. We see different regions have their own language. You have already studied different geographical region in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra there exists geographical and cultural diversity. Maharashtra is different from Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka. The feeling of infinity developed about our language and region gradually turn into the identity consciousness and finally gives rise to regionalism. People start thinking primarily about the interest and development of their own region. They start feeling proud of their language, literature, tradition, history of social reforms, educational and cultural movements, and these give rise to the development of linguistic identity. Regional identity develops from the consciousness about the development of region and the feeling that people belong to region should have claim over resources and employment opportunities. When linguistic, regional, cultural, and other identities get connected, regional consciousness emerges as a stronger feeling. Sometimes it gives rise to independent political parties or pressure groups or movements. All such developments aim at the protection of the interest of region. So, talking about the regional parties, before talking about regional parties, we should know that what is a regionalism, students. It is nothing but the feeling of infinity developed about our language, and region gradually turns into the identity consciousness and gives rise to regionalism. So wherever there are multi-regional people residing, wherever there are multilinguistic people residing, they will always have such a kind of an regionalism in that particular area. Next is regional parties. Regional parties are those groups in the region who have a proud feeling about the different identity of their region and who compete to get political power with the objective of regional development. The influence of regional party is limited to a particular region, though they play a significant role at the regional level. They influence national politics as well. Regional parties give preference to all resolutions of regional problems. For the development of the region, they demand more autonomy and authority. Though they cooperate with federal government, they try to protect their autonomy. Regional parties make several demands such as regional problems should be resolved at regional level, political power should be in the hands of the people for region, and residents of the region should get preference in administration and jobs. So basically these regional parties, they have a different kind of in concepts of different kind of in regions. And the second thing which is to be kept in mind over here is that wherever the regional party reside, they always support to their particular region only, and they think that the people residing in their region should get the proper satisfaction, no any problem should be arised. So such a kind of a thing is going on internally, and the fights are going on to prove and make their citizens as the best one. Changing nature of regional parties in India. Regional parties came into existence in India in the post-independent period. However, over the year, their nature and role has changed significantly. So, as if the national parties they took over the charge after the independence, same year regional parties also developed after the independence. So, what are the points to be kept in mind over here that had a significant role? First one, initially regional identities gave rise to the separatist movement. The demand for independent Khalistan, Dravidistan were made with the objective of parting from the Indian Federation and exist as an independent state. Regional parties from Punjab, Tamil Nadu and Jammu and Kashmir have made such demands. So this division of region or having their own identity region wise has given the birth of regional party, birth for the regional party. Second, the demands of regional parties gradually changed. Instead of an independent state, they started demanding more autonomy. This was the second stage of the development of regional parties. This stage began after 1990. So, at the initial stage, they were just trying to bring up their citizens' problems and issues to get resolved. But later on, this has just become a kind of to get the particular position in their own region or to get their high status. Third point, the regional parties demanded that for the development of the region, people from region should get power at state and national level. For example, Shiva Sena, Telugu Desam, etc. Taking the example of Shiva Sena students, Shiva Sena is having the specific status in Maharashtra. Talking about the history of Shiva Sena, starting from Balasaheb Thackeray till now Uddhav Thackeray, there is a specific identity of Shiva Sena in front of the Maharashtrian citizens. So such a kind of regional parties have started taking their initial steps to related to be a nationalist party. Fourth one, the development of regional party in Northeast shows a different trend. They gave up their demand of separatism and have started demanding autonomy. The regional parties from Northeast are now entering in mainstream of national politics. So as I discussed before, there are some kind of regional parties who are taking step further for getting the part of national parties or national politics. In short, we can say that the role of regional parties in India has passed through various phases from separatism to autonomy and now today entry into mainstream national politics. Coalition politics is one of the consequences of their increasing influences in national politics. In India, we have many regional parties. It is not possible to know about all such parties in this chapter. We will study some parties as representative of India's east, west, north, and south regions. So, let's see some of the major regional parties as shown below. Shiva Sena, main political party in Maharashtra, established in 1966. Objective to protection of the rights of Marathi people, promotion of Marathi language, resistance to people from other regions. And third point, in 1955, in 1995, it entered into a coalition with BJP and came into power in Maharashtra. It shares power with the BJP in Maharashtra since 2014, and now also in 2020 the same situation has been arised. So these were the 3 points related to the Shiva Sena. Now here we are going to see the second one, that is Shiromani Akali Dal. Established in 1920, a prominent regional party in Punjab, objective of cultivating religious and regional identity, assumes power in Punjab for many years. So this is also the one of the regional party of Punjab. Third one, Jammu and Kashmir National Conference. This is also one kind of a regional party formed in Jammu and Kashmir. Main regional party in Kashmir, established in 1932, protect the interest of Kashmiri people and protection of autonomous status. Talking about the fourth party, that is Assam Gana Parishad. It is from Assam, one of the regional party. Assam agreement was signed in 1985, resolved the problem of displaced people, protect the unique culture, linguistic and social identity of Assam, economic development of Assam, and the last one, assume power in Assam for many years. So this was the different kind of parties which were have taken into the consideration, the different kind of aims or development of their own region, and they have been formed. Talking about fifth one, students, that is Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. This is also one kind of an party, Justice Party. A non-Brahmin movement in 1920 was transformed into Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, a political party. In 1944, Justice Party came to be known as Dravida Kazhagam. In 1944, a group separated from this party and established another party, Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. Another group separate from this party in 1972 and established All India Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. Protection of Tamil identity, member of coalition government at the center for some year. The party has support of voters from all sections of society. This was in power for a longer period of time and implemented many policies. So this is a specific kind of a political party which has been started in the region of Tamil Nadu for the protection of the Tamil people and for the development of that region, and it has been last longer for a longer time period. In India, we have many regional parties in every state that have influenced the state politics. The following charts show the performance of regional parties in Maharashtra in the election of 2009 and 2014. So this is related to the specific regional parties. We have seen previously same kind of an table for the national parties. Here we are going to see the table of different kind of an representation of regional parties in Vidhan Sabha. So the differentiation between the year, the seats which have been achieved by those party in the year 2009 and 2014. Every state in India has regional parties. It is not possible to take review of all those parties, but find out information about other regional parties with the help of a map of India. So students, in this chapter we took a review of national and regional political parties in India. In the next chapter we will try to understand the importance of social movement in our life. So I hope you have understood all the points and the clarity related to the parties, that is a specific lesson framed on the political parties, lesson number 3. So this is the end of the session students. Thank you.